Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jason Wehrli with WC Fab, and today we've got our coolant tank and battery box upgrade for the 2017 to current 6.7 Powerstroke. When we looked at under the hood of the 6.7 Powerstroke and set to work designing a coolant tank, we realized it was going to be a little bit more than a coolant tank because the way Ford designed it, it is one whole unit. As you can see here, the factory assembly is a very large injection molded plastic, and it has the battery tray built into it. So we first looked at it and thought maybe we'll just make a coolant tank and they can cut off the factory battery tray and we'll make them connect. Well, we quickly scrapped that idea and realized the right way to do it is to make it one complete package and actually fix a couple of design flaws on the battery tray as well while we were at it. You can't buy them separately. They're only sold together as a complete kit, which is our coolant tank and battery box upgrade kit. So first we'll talk with the coolant tank. As I said, the factory tank is an injection molded plastic component. They don't look very nice, and over time they get black and ugly and can sometimes have leak issues. So we've got a very nice CAD design, high quality, of course everything here at WC Fab made in the USA, CNC, laser cut, and bent here in-house, fabricated aluminum tank. We build our tanks out of a very heavy wall aluminum. There's a lot of other ones on the market we've seen that are thinner wall and can be notorious for cracking at weld seams and causing you even bigger issues. So we use a much thicker, heavier sheet when we build our tanks, which gives us a much larger robust weld area and a much stronger seam at all the joints. On the top of the tank, we've got our CNC machine built aluminum radiator cap connection, which accepts our supplied black anodized radiator cap. We have pre-installed at the shop here before it ships out our overflow bung, which is what allows connection of our preformed overflow hose. Now there's a lot of stuff going on these Ford coolant tanks that we don't typically deal with on some of the other model year trucks. And that is regarding some of the OEM components in the engine bay that connect to the factory tank. There's several modules, sensors, wires, hoses, assemblies, clips, etc. that the factory tank has incorporated into it. So we've gone the extra mile and included all of that stuff. One of those components here, another component here. We've included rubber isolated P-clamps as well as installation hardware so that all of those factory components can be reinstalled and connected and secure and not bouncing around the engine bay. We've got another tab on the side of the tank which also accepts one of our supplied speed nuts and P-clamps to hold the battery cable that routes to the battery box. On this side of the tank you'll see our upper mount bracket and our lower mount bracket. The lower mount bracket having pre-installed riv nuts with our supplied hardware. This is the mounting location that mounts the coolant tank to the battery box. Down on the bottom of the tank, you'll see our nice billet machined adapter fitting. This is for connection of the OEM lower hose that connects right to the factory tank. It adapts to our tank just like it does in the OEM application. So there's no modifications required when installing this kit. It is remove the factory components and install our package. Simple as that. So last component on the coolant tank before moving on to our battery box is we have our nice billet aluminum sight glasses. These are a very high quality part with a silicone seal on the back side. And we pre-install these sight glasses here at the shop before these tanks ship out, so you do not have to worry about putting that in yourself or worrying about having a wrench that large or messing up the nice billet aluminum finish on the sight glass. So that's a nice feature that we add so you can see the level of your coolant without having to remove the cap. So moving on from the coolant tank, we have our new battery box. So we thought, how can we make a battery box any cooler or better? Not very exciting, a battery box, but we did make some upgrades compared to the OEM unit. Obviously we put a lid on it first and foremost. If we're going to go through the trouble of building a nice aluminum powder coated box, who wants to look at the ugly battery? So we've got a nice aluminum lid on the top with our riveted on logo, which can be powder coated in a custom color for a slight upcharge. That box is held on with our stainless button head style Allens, giving it a nice, sleek fit and finish. So some of the other components of the box that we made better over the factory unit is we've actually seen over the years some of these 6.7 Powerstrokes come in with broken mounting tabs for the intercooler. So on the Ford, you have an air-to-water intercooler, much different than the Duramax and Cummins platforms who use air-to-air intercoolers. The factory air-to-water cooler on the Ford actually mounts to the plastic battery box. And as I mentioned, we've seen trucks come in, the weight of that intercooler hanging there, we've seen battery boxes broken. We're gonna have an upgraded box. We wanna make it strong enough that you don't have to worry about the tabs breaking off that support the intercooler. Not only does it look great, it does help solve some factory failure points that we've seen over the years. So we've got a heavy-duty bracket on the front side that supports the front mount of the intercooler, and then the back mount we supply a new bushing and bolt. You'll reuse your factory rubber isolator, which will get installed into the side of the battery box, and with our supplied new bushing and bolt, that will mount to your intercooler with the new speed nut. So really quick here, we'll remove the lid. We'll pop the lid off and talk about some of the details on the inside of the box. So, easy removal of the lid. Nice, heavy-duty lid that's very similar to our airbox lids, which you'll see coming soon for the 6.7 Powerstroke. So the inside of the box, very nice part. It's strategically designed so that the battery sits on the bottom, and it actually reuses all of the factory style hold down components. So the battery's not just sitting in here bouncing around. We've got a brace at the back that keeps the battery from sliding backwards. On the back corner of the box, we've got an open window here, which is a pass-through area for both battery cables to come through. There's no modifications needed to your battery cables. They drop right in place just like factory. At the back here, you'll also see some additional installed riv nuts on the top, as well as 2 through holes on the back wall. And that is where I mentioned earlier the tank itself bolts to with the supplied hardware. We are really happy with how this turned out. It started out with just a coolant tank upgrade, and it went a little further, and we ended up making it a larger kit, fixing some more factory flaws and giving you a whole lot more powder coat bling under the hood, really complementing the rest of the engine bay upgrades on your 6.7 Powerstroke. So that about wraps up our coolant tank and battery box upgrade. Last but not least is our high quality powder coat finish. We take great pride in our preparation process and our powder applications, as well as our quality control after the fact in bubble wrapping and preparing this product to ship to you and arrive undamaged, ready to install. So this color here is our very popular WC Fab Red, which is a perfect match for the Tremor truck that we have behind us here. We also have in stock, quick to ship, WC Fab Gray, Gloss White, and Gloss Black. So if you're looking to do an upgrade quickly, you've got some broken factory components and you're in a bind and you need something now, we do have a handful of colors that are in stock available to ship. If you're willing to wait a little bit longer, trying to do a more custom look under your hood, want to do something special, we can of course powder coat in any color that you can think of. So that is a wrap on our coolant tank and battery box upgrade for the 2017 to current 6.7 Powerstroke. If you've got any questions about this kit, if you've got comments on any other product that you'd like to see us offer for the 6.7 Powerstroke, feel free to drop those below or reach out to our sales team. Thanks a lot for watching.